Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to discuss about the book The E-Myth by the author Michael E. Gerber, and in this book the author discusses about how a person can improve his odds of success while running a small businesses, and why do so many small business fail. And now coming to the main concept, there is a certain woman in the story. Her name is Sarah, and she comes to the author for advice. While running a small business, she is facing a lot of problems, and she discusses one to one with the author, and the author gives her advice about how to successfully run a small business. And the entire book is about the story and the conversation between those two people about running a small business. And now coming to the first concept, instead of working in their business, a business person should work on their business. Now let's say there is a certain way of doing things in small business so that it can be successful in the long run. Now instead of focusing on the daily tactical tasks to to do the daily stuff, and if we go beyond that level and if we are focusing on the bigger picture so that our overall business can work independent of our daily inputs, then it is truly a business. And the author also discusses that our business is just a part of our life and it is not our whole life. And instead of viewing our business as a complete identity, we need to see the business as a way of serving our life. In other words, instead of making our life serving on that business 24 by 7, if we detach ourselves and make sure that the business serves our personal needs in the long run, and if we are reaching that certain situation while running a small business, then there is a higher chance for it to be successful in the long run. Now, coming to the other concepts mentioned in the book, the conversation between Sarah, who is a small business owner and she is facing a lot of problems, and the author discusses about each of her problem on a one-to-one conversation, and the entire book discusses about each and every situation she is facing in her daily business, and the author gives a specific solution for each and every problem she is facing. And that solution is like a guiding manual for a small business owner who is struggling in his or her business. And in the book the author also discusses about building system, and that system, like, instead of working 24 by 7 on the specific tasks without planning things, if we are focused on being specific, let's say there are two people who started a business, a small business, and instead of working on the activities 24 by 7, if they sit down for a few hours and discuss about the various specific roles each and every person needs to carry, like let's say CEO, COO, accountant, advisor, and there are a lot of roles while running a business, and that specific roles have names. And if the two people are running a business, are dividing the tasks so that every person is accountable for a specific task, like let's say if a person is a CEO, then the other person is a COO, and in the similar way the tasks are divided equally so that each and every person in the conversation are equally responsible for the business, so that each and every person clearly knows where to focus on, and it simplifies things when compared with the situation where none of them are responsible for a specific task. And while coming to the specific task, a person will think that he will do that task, I will leave it for him. And the other person will also think in some situation that this task will get done by this person, and after a certain time both of them will realize that this task is not yet completed, and that causes a lot of drag while running a business. And by being clear about who is responsible for what type of activity, the process will run a lot smoother. And while hiring people, instead of focusing on the individual skills, like let's say instead of their brains, if we are focused on a specific step by step process, so that even a common person who is not educated can also do the activity, means it no degree is required. And instead of focusing on the people, if we focus on creating a better system which can run independent of our daily inputs, like let's say for example McDonald's. In McDonald's, burgers are served, and any person can run the McDonald's store by knowing the how to do that specific task of activities. If anyone is taking that McDonald's license to running that specific shop in their locality, they know that each and every process is written down. It is so specific that they are perfectly planned about the entire process, so that they can be easily copy paste the entire process in thousands of different locations. In the similar way, for every small business, irrelevant of the person who is handling the daily tasks, if we create that kind of system so that everything runs smoothly, then we can detach ourselves from the daily drag and the daily tactics, so that we can see the bigger picture and we can focus on the long term goals. And it will also help us to reduce our daily time, and we can delegate tasks to other people, because the process is clear, we have systems, we know what to do, that step by step process. And by doing those few things, we can make our small business a lot successful. And there are a lot of concepts discussed in the book with a few examples. And if you are running a small business, or if you are planning to start a small business, I'd recommend you to start reading this book, because there are also a concept about three personalities in each and every individual: the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. The technician is the one person who is doing that specialized task, like running the code, doing the project. And the manager is the one who manages things, and the entrepreneur is like a businessman who is focused on that strategic planning and the seeing the bigger picture. And for a business to run smoothly, the founder or the main person needs to balance these three personalities in him, so that each and every part of his personality comes to the main lead when it is their moment. And things can run smoothly if we are focused. And if we are not so sure, and if we are decluttered, and if we are unsure about what to do, it will reflect upon our business and our daily events. In other words, even if it is a small thing, we need to give our 100% of the focus, and we need to be specific, and we need to face things head on and give our 100%, so that it gets done in a better way possible. And that's all for this video, everyone. See you next time. Thank you.